Fashion show Paris heats up. Taehyung becomes the new inspiration of the fashion world. Paris in September always carries a unique kind of energy. The autumn breeze sweeps through the streets, blending with the festive atmosphere of the city that holds the crown as the world's fashion capital. The Champs-Élysées is filled with luxury cars stopping in front of the main venue of Paris Fashion Week 2025. The flashes of cameras never seem to rest. The bright lights mix with the loud calls of fashion journalists from all over the world, each fighting for the perfect angle to capture the magic. In the midst of this glamorous frenzy, one name suddenly rises above the rest. Kim Taehyung, better known as V of BTS. More than just another celebrity guest, Taehyung's presence electrifies the entire room, shifting the spotlight away from the runway and onto him. The venue that evening seemed more alive than usual. The front row seats, usually reserved for fashion editors, Hollywood stars, and socialites, suddenly felt less dazzling compared to the aura of the man dressed in a striking black suit. The moment Taehyung stepped inside wearing a uniquely tailored piece by a young Parisian designer, all eyes turned in unison. Fans who had waited since dawn outside screamed ecstatically, even for just a glimpse of him walking. "Paris never felt this electric before," wrote a London-based fashion blogger on X, moments after Taehyung arrived. The anticipation reached its peak when Olivier Rousteing of Balmain himself welcomed Taehyung at the entrance. Reporters immediately realized that his appearance was not a casual visit but part of a larger statement. Taehyung was here as a new muse for fashion's leading minds. For many, this was the first glimpse of a new chapter in his career. Nobody expected Taehyung to appear at Paris Fashion Week this year. His schedule as a musician, actor, and public figure had been packed, especially after releasing his solo project only a few months prior. Yet his arrival in Paris was not mere coincidence. It was a declaration that Taehyung was ready to step deeper into the fashion industry. Stepping out of his sleek black car, he showcased an outfit that blended classic elegance with futuristic touches. An oversized blazer embroidered with golden patterns on the shoulders, paired with minimalist straight-cut trousers. A silk scarf with abstract motifs circled his neck, adding just the right amount of eccentricity. The editors of Vogue immediately noted that Taehyung's look defined a new form of modern masculinity. It was not confined by stiff suits or conventional rules. Instead, it carried softness, poetry, and strength at once. Within minutes, the hashtag #TaehyungParisFW shot up to the top of global trends. Photos and clips spread like wildfire, making Taehyung the most talked about figure of the evening, surpassing even the collection showcased on the runway. Inside the venue, the atmosphere shifted completely once he sat down in the front row. Celebrities such as Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet, and Gigi Hadid, seated nearby, couldn't help but smile as they saw every camera gravitate toward him. "Who is this man? Everyone looks mesmerized," whispered one Italian guest who wasn't too familiar with K-pop. A friend quickly replied, "That's Taehyung from BTS, one of the most influential icons in the world." Outside, fans filled the streets, waiting for hours just for a brief glance as he exited the venue. Their chants of "Kim Tae, we love you," echoed across Paris, making the city feel more like the stage of a grand concert than a fashion show. Influencers streamed live coverage, some dedicating entire broadcasts solely to Taehyung's appearance. "Today isn't just about a fashion show," said one Japanese fashion influencer during a TikTok live. "It's about how one artist can reshape the industry with a single appearance." Rumors that had swirled since early this year finally found their answer. Taehyung was not just attending Paris Fashion Week, but was officially the newest muse of Olivier Rousteing, Balmain's creative director. In a post-show interview, Olivier revealed that Taehyung was the very inspiration for his latest collection. Taehyung carries an aura that words cannot capture. He is the perfect balance of classic, modern, and experimental. "The moment I saw him, I knew he embodied the vision of Balmain this season," Olivier said proudly. Other major fashion houses like Celine and Dior were also rumored to be in talks with Taehyung for future collaborations. This proved that the fashion world now viewed him not simply as a global celebrity, but as a cultural icon capable of shaping trends. Every detail of his Paris appearance was dissected by fashion journalists, from the cut of his blazer to the choice of colors and accessories. A fashion critic from Le Monde wrote that his look was proof that masculinity didn't have to be rigid. He brought gentleness into menswear without losing presence or power. Social media comparisons linked him to fashion legends like David Bowie, Prince, and Yves Saint Laurent. Fans and critics alike praised his courage to transcend conventions. Within hours, the ripple effect was undeniable. Abstract patterned scarves resembling Taehyung's choice sold out in Parisian boutiques, and online shops reported record-breaking sales for Taehyung-inspired items. Just like when he popularized the mullet hairstyle years ago, Taehyung once again sparked a global wave. A professor from the London College of Fashion explained it best. What Taehyung wears is not just clothing, but a cultural statement. He bridges East and West through fashion. His influence was so strong that it didn't only shape trends, but also affected industries beyond fashion. In K-pop, idols had long been ambassadors for brands, but Taehyung's presence in Paris was different. He wasn't simply modeling someone's creation, he had become the creation's very inspiration. This set a new precedent for K-pop's relationship with fashion. Entertainment agencies began rethinking strategies, realizing their artists could evolve into lifestyle icons. International media outlets amplified the impact. The New York Times ran the headline, "From Stage to Runway, Kim Taehyung becomes Paris' newest muse." Elle magazine declared his presence the highlight of Paris Fashion Week 2025. In South Korea, his achievement topped entertainment news portals, with netizens proudly celebrating how a BTS member once again represented their country on the world stage. This time not with music but with fashion. In a brief interview after the show, Taehyung expressed his gratitude. "Fashion to me is another form of art. Just like music, it has the power to convey emotions without words," he said with his signature gentle smile. He admitted that he had always been fascinated by fashion. "I love experimenting with style. Fashion is a way to show who we truly are." The sincerity of his words only deepened the impression he left that night. Not as someone chasing trends, but as an authentic artist shaping them. That evening became proof that Taehyung had transcended his identity as a musician. He now stood at the forefront of fashion as a global icon. Paris Fashion Week 2025 was no longer just about the collections of Dior, Chanel, or Balmain. It became the moment the fashion world embraced a new source of inspiration, Kim Taehyung. With his influence growing ever wider, many believe he will continue driving change in the industry. It is no exaggeration that international media called him the new inspiration of the fashion world. Amid the camera flashes, the deafening cheers of fans, and the endless applause that followed, fashion had found a new star shining brightly on the Paris runway.